Today, I'm in the middle of a cabinet refinishing project, and I wanted to bring you behind the scenes to show you exactly how we get it done the right way. Whether you're thinking about updating your cabinets or just curious about what the process looks like, this video will give you some real insight into what goes into refinishing a job, from prep to paint to the final finish. I'll also be answering some of the most common questions homeowners ask me before starting a project like this, and some in-depth ones that most people don't even know how to ask, but definitely should. If you're thinking about giving your kitchen a fresh look without the cost of remodel, this one's for you. Let's dive in. So what's the difference between painting and refinishing cabinets? And at the end of the day, it's always going to come down to the prep work. For the amount of prep that you put into this, into getting a factory finish, it's what's going to make the biggest difference. Anybody can come into your home with a paintbrush or roller and paint your cabinets, but to get a professional factory finish, you need to prep them properly. You need to degrease everything. You need to protect all the areas that are not being sprayed, because you want to protect the home from the work area. Today, we're in Tin Falls. We're on day 2 of this cabinet refinishing job. As you see, yesterday we prepped all of the cabinets. Today we're going to finish the cabinets. We protected the floors. We're going to seal off the area. So we're going to make a small containment. We're also going to add, what I don't see a lot of people doing, is adding negative pressure here. We're going to add a big negative air machine that's going to filter out all the dust, all the fumes outside. So everything's prepped properly. There's not going to be any overspray. So when we're done, you don't have to empty the things out of your cabinets. You can leave everything inside, and we'll protect it to make sure that there's no overspray, no dust inside. What I've been noticing, there are some contractors that do not protect their floors or their clients' floors or protect their home. But what we try to do is we really try to capture and cover everything. You know, our company is fully insured and bonded, so we make sure to protect the client's home properly. So when we're done, we can just take all the paper out, clean the house, and allow them to just enjoy their cabinets, their brand new cabinets right away, without having to worry about overspray on the floors, overspray on the walls, or on their ceilings, or on their lights and appliances. So these are crucial steps that people skip out in order to make the process go by faster. You know, we estimate a project like this takes 4 to 5 days in order for us to take our time to do it properly the first time. All right, so there's a reason why you see different colors. So with the orange tape, right, the frog tape is a strong adhesive. So that's the one that we put back here to protect all of the cabinets. So it's a strong adhesive, and it gives me a contrast. So when I put in the blue tape, I know that we did it properly, because you can see the green, you can see the blue, and you can see the orange. So I can see perfectly that we did not touch the structure that we're going to paint. So it gives us just visually knowing that we did it right, and that when we're done and we unmask everything, we're not touching a piece of the structure that is painted, and then you finish this whole big project and there's just like a little piece that is still black, and that can ruin the final product, and we have to go back and finish. And this is just a system that I put into place that I feel helps us the most, because everybody can visibly see what we're doing. If you put 2 orange, you're not going to see that, right? You're not going to see if you touch something or not. So that's the reason we use these. All right, so one of the biggest concerns homeowners have are fumes, dust, and smells. In order for us to control that, from my background, I used to be an abatement supervisor. So this is something that we did, or I did, for about like 13 years, was protecting the environment, protecting the contained area. So once we contain this kitchen area, there will be fumes, there will be dust, and there will be smells in here. So in order to filter all that out, what I did was I brought in a microtrap. It's a negative air system that are used in every abatement, lead, asbestos, mold project. It would clean out the airs or all fibers in the air to a 0.005 micro. So as it's going into the air, is cleaning out the entire air. So the air in here is always going to be clean. It's always going to be breathable, for us, for the employees, and also for the homeowner. And if you have pets, sometimes they'll get into the containment when we're not here, so that way it's nice and clean. So this is very important to me to have in here on every project, so we're not working with dust, we're not working with fumes, we're not working with smells. And again, the environment is very important. We're all breathing it in, so let's breathe in clean air. This machine is a 2-filter system. It has a HEPA filter inside, but these are just extra protection to collect the dust as we go. And that's why the air stays clean. So this is very simple. Just open it up, you know, put the ring pad in here, and that's 1 filter ready to go. Close it up, turn it on. So you see it'll suck this up. So it's breathing all the air. Once this is closed off with plastic, this will become all negative pressure. There'll be no positive pressure in here. So everything in the air, everything on the floor is gonna, all the dust, all the fumes are gonna be sucked in through here. And then we'll change this filter maybe 3 or 4 times through the project. Every 20 minutes in abatement, you gotta change the filter. So I do the same thing here. Every time it's dirty, you'll visibly see all the dust here. And it's a nice feeling that it's not in your lungs, it's not in your eyes, or it's not floating in the air. Everything is being collected here and filtered out nice and clean. So it's very important to have this. For me, it is. You know, I definitely see other contractors that have something similar to this, but I just think this is the best way for me to protect myself, my family, my employees, and obviously the client's home. So the primer is just, if not more important than the paint we use. So the one that we always use is a shellac-based primer. It's an oil-based primer, and it's important to give you the longevity of these cabinets. You're constantly touching, you're cooking, grease is gonna build up, you're always opening and closing them. So in order for the paint not to chip, the preparation and the primer are the most important thing. And then when it comes to painting, we use the Gallery series. I think that's a great product. It's a 1K product. It helps us tremendously because after 14 days, when it's fully cured, you can scratch it, nothing would happen to it. You know, just don't be too aggressive on the cabinets, you know? Besides that, it allows us to spray 2 coats in 1 day because it dries very quickly. It dries within 45 minutes, so we're able to sand the first coat and reapply the second coat in 1 day. So these are zip holes that I just grabbed, and we're gonna set up the dust barrier. So we're gonna contain our work area. With the negative air system, it needs to be a confined space in order for it to work. There's just way too much square footage for that machine to be useful if we don't protect the home. So I usually have like 5 or 6 of them. I just try to close it off because I don't want the plastic to be fragile or fall off. So we try to make as many as I can, kind of like putting up drywall, you know, like maybe like 4 feet, 5 feet apart to give us a very strong barrier. So these are the little, I guess you call stoppers, right? So this goes flush against the ceiling. Just snap it into place. Once we get the plastic, we'll put it right here, close it so we secure it, and it goes right up there. But I kind of like just setting the structure first before I throw the plastic. It makes my life easier because then I know how much I need to cut. So that's what I end up doing. And again, just little barriers like that helps us protect the home. Yesterday, we were able to degrease everything. So this is one that we use. There's so many degreasers out there. Definitely find the one that works best for you. Personally, I just think that this one, the ZEP, has been working excellent for us to degrease the old cabinets, getting rid of the years of the greasy cooking, the grease on your hands, and preparing the surface for sanding, which allows us to prepare for the primer and then the top coat. For the sanding process, we use Festool. We use their sander hooked up to a HEPA vacuum, again, to eliminate dust, to clean the area clean and keeping dirt off of the cabinet so we can just wipe them down and they're ready for a primer. We usually start with an 80 to a 120 grit to scratch it up, to get rid of all the stains or any color on there so the primer can adhere better to the actual cabinets. This is how we start, right? So these are the older cabinets that they had. So after we degrease them, they'll look like this. After we sand them, they'll kind of look like this, right? They look all scuffed up, beat up, but it's very important to do this. Otherwise, the primer won't adhere properly. And then later on, you're gonna have problem with chipping and stuff like that. So as long as you prep everything properly, The final product is gonna last a good 10 to 15 years. That wraps up the prepping process. Once we're done, we're gonna be able to deliver this back to the client. It's gonna be two-tone. I'm excited for you guys to see the transformation, and stay tuned for the rest of the video for the final product. Right now we're breaking down, removing all the floor. After we installed everything, cleaned all the countertops, we take the floor out last, so it was very minimal mopping and vacuuming that needs to be done. As you can see, we finished the two-tone colors. We went white on top and kind of like a light blue at the bottom, which is challenging when you do two of them. You know, you got to do the first one first, give it the two coats, let it completely dry, then cover the bottom ones and do the tops. There's been other times where we did the top first, then the bottom, but for this project, I thought for me it was easier to do the bottom ones, throw plastic, and then finish the top. And you know, at the end, it came out very beautiful. I mean, the prep is it's a huge step on this. You know, we paid so much attention to it because we are spraying, we are making dust. It is paint, so if paint drips and the floor is not protected, you know, we're going to destroy the brand new floor. So, you know, taking these proper steps is so important in order for the last day to be so satisfying. I mean, just pulling this tape here and seeing straight line, for any painter out there, they know that's one of the most satisfying things in the world. You know, pulling off the tape, doing it right the first time. Then you don't have to do it 2-3 times. I mean, I love it. When it comes to curing time, depending on the paint, right, we use a gallery series. So that allows you to let it dry within 45 minutes. So that's a big help about that paint. It's a 1K product. So in 14 days, it's fully cured. So, you know, using really good quality paint allows you to spray 2 times. In this case, 2 colors, 2 coats of 4 different spraying in 1 day, in a matter of like, I would say like a 9-hour day. So when we protect, or when we start prepping, we try to protect, like, you know, light fixtures, hinges, drawers, or inside the cabinets. When it comes to the hinges, we remove them. We always encourage for them to change in and put new hardwares in. So that's one way of protecting. We just remove it and then we install them once we're done. Everything else is prepped with tape, with plastic, with paper, to make sure everything is fully covered so there's no overspray, no dust that can get in there. If you look inside the cabinets, we haven't done anything to it besides, you know, take off the plastic and the paper. There's like no dust in here. It's very clean. So, you know, the prep is so important in order to, you know, get this and final finish, to be professional, to have it nice and clean for the customer. So when we're done, they can just go right ahead and use their kitchen. I know there are some painters, not all of them, that skip little steps, and what they'll do is they'll just tape the doorknobs or tape the hinges in order not to take the doors off. For me, that doesn't work out, because if you replace them, you can pull the paint. If you don't tape it properly, again, pulling the paint, and it's just not a professional finish. So us removing everything and doing it right the first time, it's what makes a difference, and it makes me and my crew stand out from everybody else. Just, you know, those little details, you know, not skipping the little things. It definitely helps you in the long end, you know, because we do give our clients a warranty. It's a 1-year guarantee on our work. So we want to do it right, because we don't want to come back and have to redo this all over again. God forbid something happens, we will, but we try to avoid that. So doing everything right the first time allows those issues not to occur in the future. So one of the bigger concerns are our clients, if they can be in the house while we're working. And we tell them, yeah, you know, we protect everything. We'll isolate the kitchen from the rest of the home. We put 2 negative air systems. We put one in the kitchen and also in the spray booth. So, you know, there's no fumes, there's no smell, there's no dust. And then we'll divide the home so everybody will be able to stay here and not have to worry about, you know, their health being injured or them being contaminated with dust, with any smells or anything like that. So, you know, they're able to stay here.
Yeah, I was really nervous. But you know, we've been cooking here for 7 whole years, day in, day out, and we entertain a lot. With neighbors, friends, relatives, 5 years, we've been doing house parties, and my daughter is a great chef. She cooks almost every day. And sometimes I cook too for my grandson. I was really nervous. You know, all our cabinets were not only messy, dirty, greasy,
very greasy,
and really greasy. And oh, I'm not happy whenever I come in to cook. It's so dark and greasy and dirty looking after 7 years. So I never thought Patrick would turn into this marvelous white, fresh kitchen for us. And my daughter and I, we are all so happy. I knew it would be lovely, but I never expected this much. I'm so thankful to you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
For 5 whole days, they've done non-stop. And really, we are very satisfied.
Yeah.
Most appreciated.
I hope this gave you a better understanding of what really goes into making old cabinets look brand new again. This is why hiring someone who cares about the detail truly makes a difference. If you're a homeowner in the tri-state area and looking for a reliable painter to help you in your painting project, you can contact me at 347-415-4504 and we'll give you a free estimate. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care of your home and I'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next one, guys.